So on Master Duel, it's really easy to get expensive cards. So I guess I do not need expensive cards like this anymore. Like, so basically, Master Duel has come out, and I think it's honestly a very fun game. I will say there are a little bit gripes here and there, like the 50-minute long turns, but other than that, it's a pretty good game. Every duel feels like when you're playing this game, you're queuing up for like a game of League, because you really never know. You could either shit on your opponent and have a match take 3 minutes, or you could have the longest match drawn out for your life when you need to like go to work in like 20 minutes. And yeah, it really just depends. But I think that that's something that could be fixed in the future, especially with like how fast everything moves in game. There's like a little bit of lag in between clicking stuff, which I think once they get rid of that lag, the game will move a lot faster. Very interestingly though, the game does have a lot of cool mechanics and a lot of cool cards. I will say using the OCG ban list with like knowing all the TCG meta, it's very refreshing. It's like you get like a whole new dive in a new meta. And there's a lot of fun stuff to do as well when you're playing this game. It's not just playing with like bots or like playing with your friends. You could also climb a ranked ladder, which is a lot of fun. And when I mean fun, I mean it's fun to shit on like the random people. Now, however, I will say this game is not new player friendly. Not even a little bit. If you're a new person at Yu-Gi-Oh! And what I mean by new player friendly is I mean someone who hasn't played the game in the past 5 years. Because the game is completely different. It has been completely different since they added Pendulum. But still, it's a very easy game to get into, especially if you build the right cards. A lot of the big problems that I see a lot of streamers have is that they're not building their decks properly. And what I mean by properly is they're running like old meta stuff that like was probably good like 20 years ago, but now the game has evolved to the point where if you run like a 10-year-old card, it's not going to do great. It's not. Like I've seen the amount of decks that I've seen that have double summon as one of your combo pieces, like it's not a good card, guys. It's not. It's a -1. Well, -2, but yeah. Funnily enough, if you actually just look up an archetype and you look up a deck build within like the last year on like YouTube or like online, you'll actually find a lot of the sources, materials, how to play through the deck, how to pilot the deck. I feel like that's also very important. You can't just completely copy a deck build and then not know how to pilot it. You need to know like at least like 1 or 2 combos in the deck, and then from there you learn multiple different pilots. And it's great to see the amount of people that have been showing interest in this game, but I think that they really just need to understand that an old, like, you don't bring old meta to new games. You know what I mean? Like very rarely do old things work out in a new current meta. That's like if you were playing Beyblades and everyone's running the metal Beyblades and you bring like the very first generation plastic Beyblades against the metal Beyblades, and you're like, oh, why aren't my plastic Beyblades doing much? I keep losing. I've only won 1 game out of 20. And it's because of the fact that you're using plastic Beyblades versus all these metal Beyblades. Like that's like the best analogy I can give to you guys with Beyblades. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff to learn for sure. I want everyone to succeed in this game. And here's some tips. I'm gonna give like a few little tips for like, these are for all the veteran people that are trying to get into this game. That's honestly why you saw the thumbnail look the way it was. It's a little bit of like it's like a fish hook. It's not well, like, yeah, I guess it is a bait, but like it's like for the specific demographic of people that used to play the game or play the game very old style. You know what I mean? That's who I'm trying to get with that thumbnail there. It wasn't trying to get like Joe Schmo who plays Yu-Gi-Oh every week, who's, I know he's gonna play Master Duels. He might watch this video, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to, But you right there, you need to. It's not hard though. It's really not. All right. The first thing you need to do, the best tip ever, is add bread and butter supports. So what I mean by bread and butter supports is you just need cards that'll help you get to your other cards. A good example of this are dangers. In discard decks, you want to run dangers. Or cards that rely on the graveyard, you run dangers because they discard from the hand and they're always +1. So that's why they're really good. There's also a lot of extra deck cards that help you search through your deck. The amount of like link cards that actually help a deck out is insane in the format. There are so many cards that are links that help almost every single archetype. They have practically almost every single archetype in links. It's insane. It's actually insane. I think like one of the few archetypes that doesn't have any support is like Oddeyes for links, but then they have like Electromites, so it's like whatever. So yeah, if you just learn, like if you just take like the time to add good cards that'll help your deck be more consistent, and just look up what cards those are that help your deck be more consistent, you'll do amazing. Trust me. That's like the biggest tip ever. Just look up what cards will help your archetype do better. The game is very fun, obviously, but the navigating the menu can sometimes be a little difficult. Like, did you even know that you could dismantle your cards to get other cards? So basically, when you dismantle a card, it gives you 10 materials for that card so you can get a different card. A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that. So if you have like a specific archetype you want to make and you just summon a bunch of packs, you can dismantle all the ultra rares, all the super rares to make a lot of the cards in that deck that you're trying to make. So that's honestly, that's a great option for you. And the last tip I'm going to give right now is watch that timer, learn your effects. If you watch, like, that timer is going to be your worst enemy when you're making a new deck. I know it's frustrating running out of time in a duel, but it's a part of the process. It happens to all of us. Like, whenever you make a new deck, it's just constantly reading and reading and reading until you understand what each one of your cards do. Then you're good. It just takes a bit. It takes a little bit to learn cards. It takes a little bit to learn like their interactions with each other, their combos. And yeah, I really do want to see this game succeed, and I want to see the people who play it succeed too. Not just, I don't want to see the average Yu-Gi-Oh fan like enjoy this game. I want to see the guy who came back to the game, downloaded this off of Steam, and decided to give it a chance. That's who I want to see succeed. And I promise you, if you do these tips that I just gave you, and like you just heed my advice, you know, it'll all go good. It will all go good. It takes a very minimum amount of research to make a good deck. Like I would say less than 10 minutes, you could find all the materials and all the stuff you need to make a good deck. Or not even a good deck, a fun deck, I will say. Not just meta. Having fun is like the main part. The decks I don't make because I enjoy winning. I make it because I enjoy playing those cards. I enjoy using those cards. One of my favorite cards is Crystal Wing, and I cannot wait to make my own Crystal Wing deck where it just pilots into Crystal Wing. That's the whole point of the deck. Is it good? Probably not, but it's fun. That's all I want. I just want fun decks. All right, well, that was everything. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you have a fun time playing the game. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit my Twitch up. I am live there 5 days out of the week. We have a lot of fun. Also, in case you're wondering, that intro, I did not rip up the card. I had 2 cards there and I dropped it like that. I dropped this one right there, and then like I just ripped the card behind it. It was like it was literally a card from a structure deck. Supply Squad. Everyone has Supply Squad, so don't even worry. It's not like it was like anything. Twitch link in the bio. Make sure to check that out. I hope to see you guys on the game. Have a lot of fun. Peace.